What is going on? Welcome to the Legion of Comics and a special time slot for At Week's End. It's the off weekend, got stuff not to do, so figured we'd go ahead and go live and spare ourselves the evening since we lost an hour's sleep last night. As Paul put it, be a great opportunity to make sure we get it back from those dirty timekeepers. So we're taking off early. There's a lot to talk about, from DCKO number 5, Monarch episode 2, the Lanterns TV show, and more. We're going to be diving into all of that right after this.
Hey guys,
the clocks may spring forward, but we're falling back.
We are falling back.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
How's it going, guys? Glad you can make it. I appreciate y'all being available for the early edition. I'm liking this idea.
Mark got me out of doing my outside work, my cleaning up the garage. He called me. My wife was next to me. I put him on speakerphone because I knew why he was calling, and I was like, "Oh, this is perfect. He can get me out of doing this."
Yeah, he literally. I said, "Hey, I just got done recording the deep dive with Paul. You want to aim for the top of the hour?" And Steve goes, "Honey, can I go in about 45 minutes to hang out with my friends?"
That's literally what happened, verbatim. Yeah.
And when she said yes, I said, "Winter, thank you for letting Steve go play with his friends."
That's right. That's right.
Perfect.
That is what he said.
We had Jersey Creeps in here early. I'm not super big on comic book reader, but I love the toys. But don't you think that the Green Lantern show looks a little too Earth-based or grounded? Shouldn't it be more space-oriented? We're going to be getting into all that probably right here at the start of the show. What's going on, 34? Fell asleep before in the mix last night. Man, no worries. No worries. But, dude, that's a great place to start, really, with the Lanterns TV show. First off, just your impressions. Where you stand on an excitement level for the show, having seen the first full teaser, trailer, whatever you want to call it, having gotten a glimpse of it. Where's your excitement level, Paul? You're the resident Lantern fan. You're definitely the biggest Green Lantern fan that we know that I know in the community from all the people that I mingle with.
I am very excited. Having seen the trailer, I'm more excited. I will say, their costume, or the one Hal Jordan's costume anyway, is very much Earth One based, which happens to be my least favorite of all the costumes. Not that it's bad. I know it's probably practical, and if Hal Jordan were probably to create a costume, being an Air Force pilot, that's probably what he would create. So I'm okay with it. It's just not my favorite of all the costumes that are out there. So I didn't not like it because it had, because it was too brown or something, whatever it was, the people were saying. We got to see Hal fly. I was psyched about that. That was incredible. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to it.
Steve, where's your excitement level?
I mean, it hasn't changed or phased. I mean, I messaged you that it leaked online and you'd already seen it. And I watched it and I was like, dang, this looks really good. This looks really, really, really fun. And a lot of things that people were complaining about, like I totally get, but they weren't complaining about that for the Superman movie. So I don't understand why it's such a big deal.
I'm excited to get into some of that.
And I don't know. I mean, it's still like a 9 out of 10. I mean, absolutely. I showed it to my wife and I was like, hey, is this something you'd be interested in watching? She goes, absolutely. Anything Coach Taylor is in. I get what she said.
Yeah. To preface it, when James Gunn 2 years ago did the little video announcing like I'm in charge of the DC studios now, and we have this era we have planned out. We've got like 10 projects at the moment that we're looking at coordinating. We're going to call this era Gods and Monsters. We're going to have a Creature Commando show that rolls out first on HBO, but it's really going to all kick off with the Superman movie that I'll be writing and directing. And then we're going to do these other things. And as he was going through that list of stuff, he got to Lanterns and he stated, then we'll have an HBO show called Lanterns. It'll be an Earth-based show focused on Hal Jordan and John Stewart, who are two of our Green Lantern cops, and it'll be done in the style of True Detective.
Right.
And I don't know what people expected, being that that's what we were told. That's what has been talked about, especially if you keep up with this channel. You see that I go back to that all the time. Ever since Superman came out, I keep going back to Lanterns and pointing out that that's kind of what we need. That's what we need to shake things up. But what they told us it was going to be and what they just showed us is 1-to-1. It is exactly what they said it should be, what they're planning on doing with it. With James Gunn being kind of like the creative solo for the DCU right now, because we had Creature Commandos, Peacemaker, his Suicide Squad, Superman, kind of the tone and the way that the Supergirl movie looked up until that second trailer. There needs to be variety in the DCU. Otherwise, we're just doing a copy paste of the MCU. And Clayface and Lanterns are our first glimpse of that variety. These different characters need their own style, tone, theme, kind of like the early days of the MCU. And because of that, I'm probably more excited now than I was just knowing that's what it's meant to be. Because I don't know if I was losing a little faith and just expecting more just copy, paste, jokey, bright light, neon space stuff. I like the idea of it being Earth-based. It doesn't mean that these characters aren't linked to cosmic things, but the Green Lantern comics are just as much on Earth as they are in space. It's not one or the other. His job is Earth. His sector is Earth. Like this is his job. This planet is his responsibility. It goes beyond Earth, but this is why he's a human assigned to this sector, because that's where the Earth is that he's from.
His probably his most famous story arc in his entire history occurred on Earth, traveling with Green Arrow.
That and then like what happened with Coast City, the whole rebirth thing, not the initiative, the actual book. Like, it always comes back to Earth. Hell, his central power battery for a hot minute was at the center of the Earth being guarded by the Green, like in recent times. But yeah, I'm interested to see what people's takeaways are. Let's see. I hope we get to see the squirrel Chip. Yeah, old Chip. When I'm playing with the hero clicks, Finn loves to get Chip and play as Chip. He thinks Green Lantern Squirrel's a cool.
By the way, they did not say if this show happens before or after Superman, so we don't know. We don't know like if he's telling the truth or not about how he's the only Earth-based Green Lantern, right? Like,
we can get into some of that. Let me get through these comments, and we're gonna dive into this Guy Gardner controversy, which I want to take this opportunity to baptize some opinions, because that's my go-to. Just y'all got to shut up with some of these complaints. I think people are way too mad about a show that hasn't even come out yet. Valid. They say because it's on Earth, but some of the best stories with Hal are written at Green Arrow. Yep, exactly what Paul just said. Yeah, 100%. 9 out of 10. Yeah. Comics Embrace, what's going on? Just my opinion, but it looks like total she. That's fair. I mean, everyone's entitled to your opinion. Tell me why, though. Tell me why. Hashtag Brown Lanterns. Let's see. I do have a picture of the costume. We'll address that. So the picture of the costume they showed, for one, it is green. I mean, if we're just being honest, it's like green leather, just a weird green shoulders. It's not like Crayola green on the shoulders and the emblem it is, but do y'all think that this is their active suit, or do you think this is like an older one in the closet kind of thing? Could it, you know what I mean? Like, is this the primary suit, do y'all think?
I think, sorry, Paul, I don't mean to cut you off here. I think that we're going to get lots of flashbacks. I don't think that this is going to be like a beginning to end streamline type of story. I think this is his suit at some point. I don't know if it's his current suit, because there are multiples of that same suit. I know we're going to get the origin for John in the story as well. So I can see this being more of a flashback. We know that John's going to be like the Green Lantern going forward, right? Like he's going to be in Superman 2. So I'd imagine that's Hal's suit. Not a big fan of Brown in it, but I'm open to see what they do.
There are more suits in the closet. Yeah, and there were 2 of which we didn't even get to see. Paul, do you think that that's going to be the primary suit, like the active suit, or there'll be a newer version? They'll lean into the construct version. That's an old version. What do you think?
I would not be surprised if that's the suit. When he was doing all these things, one of the things that he showed was one of the things that James Gunn showed was he did show the Earth One a story as being something that definitely, they were referencing. And that is definitely, like I said, that is definitely the Earth One Green Lantern suit to me.
I
Yeah,
just
it
don't
looks
know
a
why
lot like it. That Earth One suit was just his astronaut suit with just energy around it, if I'm not mistaken.
I just don't know why it's brown. That should have been green, in my opinion.
Yeah, they could have leaned into more green for sure, but maybe there's a possibility. Yeah, there's the Earth One suit comparison. I like the idea of more grounded. I don't have a problem with the suit being a construct. I don't have a problem with the suit not being a construct. Either way, doesn't matter to me. We went for decades in comic books where the suit was not a construct. So
Yeah,
that's not an issue at all for me
it's
either
not
way.
going to affect my enjoyment of it any either way. Like I said, it's just a preference. It's not my favorite. It's my least favorite of all the suits that I've seen on him, but it's not definitely not going to impact my enjoyment of it.
Yeah. Now the aura, that was the next thing that I was seeing people say, like, why doesn't he have a green aura around him? Well, because that character that everybody was loving to love when they made that Superman trailer and they released it and they showed Guy Gardner not wearing a Green Lantern. He was wearing a cloth suit. Y'all remember that? How Guy wasn't wearing a construct? Y'all remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, do y'all remember when Guy Gardner was flying around? He didn't have a green aura. Y'all remember that? So they've set a status for this universe. They've set a standard. So why is anybody flipping the script now? Why do Green Lanterns need construct suits now? Why do they need auras around them now? Also, Green Lantern, there's times when he has an aura around him when he's flying and times when he doesn't. Typically, that aura around him is kind of like a protection. It's a force field. He's flying through space, this or that. There's some artistic designs where it's just like the energy trailing behind him. We don't know. It can go either way, and it's accurate both ways depending on the context or what they're wanting to do visually. What's your take on the aura, Steve?
It would be cool if they did, but I'm sure that they're not. I mean, they're not going to, probably because of. But to get the raised lantern, the green that kind of raised those, that was really
floats over him.
Yeah.
Yeah, that wasn't until Jeff Johns' Rebirth era with Ethan Van Sciver that came up with that idea. And Ethan Van Sciver's like trending, like in non-comic skate areas and circles and stuff.
I do not like that guy. He's a weirdo.
He had some not nice things to say.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. I mean, obviously, I would prefer not to have brown on it, but like, if we're talking about like, let's not forget, everyone also thought that the Green Lantern suit in a Superman movie looked like complete trash before it was on the big screen. Everyone's like, "What are we doing? He's wearing all white, blah blah blah." And then he was in a Superman movie, and no one cared. Like, everyone's like, "This looks cool." Like, I think it'll be really similar to that. I think it'll be really, really, really similar to that. I have no issues with not having a green aura around him. None.
Yeah, I can see in my mind, God, it's a superhero thing, and it's a show. You gotta introduce, you gotta have a journey, and then you have to have like a big payoff. I can easily see, being that this is like a Jon Stewart training season, as well as them working on a mystery and stuff, a mystery that I think is going to ultimately break my heart. I said from day one when they announced like that it's a murder mystery, I said, God, I hope it's Guy's death. That's been my hope and dream for all of this. Nothing against Nathan Fillion. Guy Gardner's best function as a lantern is to die. For me, in my opinion, he works great as like a corpse. But then again, who would investigate his murder? They'd be like, yeah, oh well, pour one out and keep moving.
The lantern that we see in the trailer looks much more like Alan Scott's lantern than it does.
That was my immediate thought as well. I'm like, oh, look at this lantern. And people that were critical of that, I'm like, to be honest with you guys, this looks super old. Like, this could be Alan Scott's lantern versus their lantern. And if you look at the metal across the center of it, how it's like two little circles spinning around it. On the right side, there looks to be like up against his leg, next to his leg, looks to be something right there. Like maybe the center of the lantern where he would charge his ring.
Is he wearing a ring right there in his right hand? I can't tell.
I can't see. Can't tell either. I'm not even sure who this is. They don't show who this is, but whoever it is.
It's him. It's John.
Whoever it is, if you look at their weird outfit, it looks like they're wearing like a worker's outfit, or not a two-piece onesie kind of thing. The matching pants with jacket or shirt.
Like prison outfit, actually.
Looks like something.
Yeah. My guess is, when we see that guy jump out of the airplane, I think that's John. I think he's doing some sort of military op. It doesn't go well, and he finds that, and he's using that when he's trying to get found by other people, and then that's when the ring finds him. That's my personal opinion of what I think will happen.
Katie says it's not just the premise that people are criticizing. The execution was also poor, at least with regard to the trailer. Atrocitus dialogue, for starters. I don't think we got much out of the trailer. One of the chats, I don't know what it was when it dropped. I said, this looks like it's all from episode 1.
Mm-hmm.
So that's another thing. I think they're really holding back on stuff. They didn't show us the constructs, the rings. They didn't show us really anything. You saw Kyle take flight, or Hal take flight for 1 second, and that was really it. I don't know if they I don't know why they're holding stuff back. They're clearly holding a lot back.
Yeah. I'll be honest. I'm still excited about it. It got me hyped, but I could see why people were like, that is not the best first trailer to drop. Like, it felt a lot like, to me, like a MCU first episode where I'm like, man, these first episodes sucked that Disney's dropping. That's what it kind of felt like in terms of like the reaction.
The green aura in Superman came from the ring. It was there. Go watch again. Go watch again, dude. Dude's flying around, hovering, and just
there's
no
nothing
aura,
there.
bro.
There's
no
nothing.
Aura. When he's ring slinging, you can see aura. But yeah, dude, he's flying around without an aura. He's like sitting. It even looks like he's on harnesses. Like it wasn't even CG flying. He was like harness flying and stuff. At weekend's end morning. Hey, it's technically afternoon over here. What is going on, J-Med?
By the way, his ring in the movie is different than the ring we've seen for the Lantern show.
Say that again.
The ring that Guy Gardner has in his Superman movie does not have the gold around it. It does not look like that. It looks
not at all.
similar.
Every lantern has a different looking ring. None of their rings look the same.
I'm just saying in general. They went with a new look.
Well, there's a massive problem with this. Now, this is something that I don't think is a problem. I think it's a hint. I think it's a potential. Hint? Yes. Why would there be yellow on a Green Lantern ring? And we're being introduced to a Hal Jordan who's got some age on him. He's got some years on him. He's got the little bit of gray on there. In the comic books, that gray was caused by parallax that he was unfamiliar with, that he didn't know he was being slow infected by. I think there's potential that, that when they announced they wanted an older Hal, I'm like, oh snap, we're doing parallax. They're going to eventually have him be the bad guy in the show, or, if they're not doing Darkseid in the big DCU, if you want a good villain, I mean,
yeah,
that's a cosmic level villain right there with parallax.
And let's not forget Sinestro trained him. So
yeah, we're supposed to have Sinestro, and I guess that was Atrocitus that walked into the bar with his henchman behind him.
Yep. What about the Dillahunt guy, the guy on the horse? Who's that supposed to be?
I don't know. I've never seen Yellowstone.
From the trailer.
Yeah, I don't know. I have no clue.
That we don't know either. We have no idea about that.
I heard numerous people point out the lack of aura for Guy and Superman. I didn't, and I was arguing with people in real time. Paul, you remember how much I was arguing with people during that Superman stuff? Because I was annoyed. I didn't care about the suit. I understood the concept of them doing like the Terrifics and stuff like that, like their version of it. My thing was the stupid haircut, because it made me think you're not taking this movie serious. And everybody was arguing, everyone's like, oh, the haircut's comic accurate. It's comic accurate. Then they would show pictures of comics from decades ago. Yes, it was comic accurate back then. Bro hasn't rocked a bowl cut in decades. He's like military cut, like high and tight. But they were fine with it then. Now we need construct costumes, even though you can go back decades and see they weren't construct costumes. That's like a post-crisis thing. But fans aren't consistent. I'm afraid, I get people like it catching them off guard. It's exactly what we were told we were going to get, though. I get people thinking one way or another. But I also remind myself that a lot of these people talking online could just be the same people that still enjoy the modern MCU. And I'm going to be honest, it might upset some people, don't care. If you still enjoy the modern MCU, I don't like your opinion. I don't want you to influence what they're doing with the DCU. I don't take your criticisms online seriously. I want these movies and these characters to kind of grow with the fan base. Harry Potter is a great example. Those movies kind of grew with the fan base. Like that happens in the books. I think that's a big thing that happened with the MCU. A lot, like a massive amount of people, a successful amount of people got in with the MCU, and then it became bland over time. They didn't do anything new. It didn't grow. It was still just corny jokes, needle drop moments. It's hollow. I don't want that for the DCU. I want these projects like Penguin. Give us this Lantern show taken seriously. Then give us the Superman that's lighthearted and Silver Agey and works for that. You got to have these different projects. You can't let them exist and all look the same, or we'll just get a flat, boring DCU. Like, why would anyone want that? I don't get it.
I mean, it's just like DC Comics. If you go to pick up a Green Lantern book and a Flash book and a Batman book and a Superman book, they're all going to have their own feel to it, and that's how the movie should be.
What are y'all's thoughts on the ring situation? This is something that I was kind of wondering and racking with. Now, keep in mind it because they can pull from whatever era of comics they want to. I don't understand how John's getting brought into the Corps. We don't know that yet. I don't understand why he doesn't have a ring, other than like there's been times when he's refused the ring when he didn't feel that he had earned the ring. But the idea of him training him and waiting for the ring to kind of deem him worthy kind of thing, why are they like trying to like supersede the process? Is the process different? What are your thoughts on that, Paul, with the one ring thing?
I need to see how it plays out. I mean, I can see where if there has to be another step before maybe John can create his own ring or whatever it happens to be. Maybe he, once he takes Hal's ring, he's able to create his own ring, whatever. It'll be interesting to see how they do that because obviously sharing one ring they really can't do, for more than a second. So it'll be interesting. I reserve my judgment until they figure out how to work with it.
What do you think they're going to do, like story-wise? Not like judging it, like if you had to try to guess the plot kind of thing.
I don't know.
I know that's how I feel. Like I truly don't know.
You're not going to like my answer.
I want to hear it though.
That's like not knowing if he has his own ring and like if they have to share a ring, that, and then also the ring not letting Hal know how to communicate with alien species seems like a Tom King mistake, because Tom King is very heavily involved in this show. And that feels like a Tom King mistake, in my opinion. That's a writing error. If that's,
I think you mentioned it earlier. It could go back to the timeline of this show where it exists in the DCU timeline.
Yeah, that's true.
But we know that Guy Gardner's confirmed for the show, which is unfortunate.
What about, here's something that we hadn't really thought about. Like he puts the ring on there, right? Can anyone see if he's still wearing a ring when he does that?
You
can't tell. He's not. Okay, so I'm interested to see again whether this is supposed to happen before or after the Superman movie, and whether he's holding on to that extra ring and he's going to give it to him when he feels like he's worthy of it. I don't know.
Hal's manifested a many rings.
Yeah, I agree with you, Steve. I think I think at the start probably they're not really sure about Jon Stewart yet, so he lends him his ring for now. Because they're not just going to say, "Oh, welcome to the club. Here's a ring. Can do whatever you want." So he's going to give him his ring, knowing that he can still control it if he needs to, probably, and then as well as allow Jon Stewart to create some things as well. And then at some point, maybe Hal creates a second ring and gives that to Jon Stewart.
What if he found that battery, that lantern, and he goes back to his military base and he's like, I found this. Who should I talk to about this? And they're like, that sounds like a question for Hal Jordan. And because we know Hal Jordan used to be in the military as well. in Air Force. So maybe that's how he starts figuring out about the Green Lantern Corps, because he found the lantern. I don't know.
Oh, Cicada says they're afraid to do Cosmic Green Lantern in the wake of the 2011 movie. I mean, that's 15 years ago. And between now and then, we've had 3 Guardians of the Galaxy, Infinity War, Thor movies. We've had like Superman went multidimensional and all kinds of stuff. Like, I don't think that they're afraid of. I don't think they're afraid of space stuff or cosmic stuff anymore whatsoever. I just think that they haven't had an idea for this show, and I think it's going to be good. To be honest with you, I think it's going to be really good. I think it's going to be I don't think it's going to be like one of these niche shows where if you're a kid or a quirky adult like all of us, I think it's going to really like hit for a bigger audience in a good way. I like the idea of them solving a mystery, and I definitely like that's very Tom King-esque too, to have like a very grounded story to put these characters that in these situations that you don't know how they're going to move through it because other writers don't have the balls to put them through it. And for some people that hits more than for others, and in some situations it hits stronger than others. But one thing that it leaves me hope is I think back to Tom King's Human Target, and maybe, just maybe, we'll kill Guy Gardner for a little while.
My prediction is that Guy Gardner shows up at the end of the show, and Hal Jordan and John Stewart, or maybe just John Stewart if Hal dies, they're watching the news of Max Lord introducing his Justice Gang, and he sees another Green Lantern there.
That would be a cool time era for this to be before Superman.
That's what I'm thinking, man.
Guy Gardner in it, but not in the terrific suit. And to this point, because I see a lot of people like clowning Gunn, I'm not too sure how much he's involved in this. I know James Gunn's over the DC studio, but he's not writing any of this. He's not directing any of this. This is just under DC. And that's one thing that looks like a step in the right direction in the big picture. Same with Clayface and now Lanterns. These are non-Gunn properties. These are like it might, like, in a perfect world at this point, he's editorial for this. He's like, hey, because the bigger picture, these are things that we can do and things we can't do, but you're allowed to do anything else inside of those parameters. And you also, with how they introduce Superman, you have backlog that you can do anything you want in that backlog, as long as it doesn't mess up any future story canon that they have planned moving forward. Yeah, it definitely was I think that the lackluster thing is fair, but I think that's just because they held a lot back, and a lot of it came from episode 1. EVS is such a D-bag, probably bitter DC fired him. Dude, he's very bitter about that. That's his whole existence since then is contingent on him being fired. But he's very he's excited for the show. Like all the stuff that people are resharing from his posts and stuff. He's like one of the few people pointing out it's called Lanterns because there's multiple lanterns. Lindelof wasn't like being serious. He doesn't hate the color green. That's a dumb thing to think.
He shouldn't say that though. That guy should.
Yeah, because people online don't know how to socialize anymore. They don't know how to.
And he did laugh after he said that, by the way.
Yeah, like wild take. Yeah, man, that'd be cool to get a booster and Ted Cord. Cold-blooded. The lanterns definitely look like Scott's lantern. Yeah. Hal is still washed up. Yeah, that's why I think that they're going to go the parallax route. And that's the kind I got this vibe too. I'm like, dude, are we doing this again like an old racist town kind of thing? Because
for real.
Whenever you see it in media these days, it seems to be like the most common trope in the world. But like the normies eat it up. Like the people that kind of just dip their toes into comics or dip their toes into superheroes. Like look at when the Absolute Batman Annual came out and everyone's like, yeah, they're fighting fascists. I'm like, keep that energy. Check out JSA. Any issue, pick an issue, all the issues. You'll love it. But they don't care about that. They just construct. Well, yeah, constructs. Yeah, those are always going to be green. Yeah, we didn't get to see any of the ring slinging in the trailer. I think the red flag on my end is that David Lindelof is a writer. He enjoys making characters and stories his own. Worked for Watchmen, worked for Lost. Has he done any other superhero stuff outside of Watchmen?
Not that I'm aware of.
That I do not know.
Has anybody watched Watchmen, the TV show, and thought, I wish this was good? That was an amazing show.
I didn't watch it, but I watched the Zack Snyder movie.
There you go. Which just had its 17th anniversary this past week. I don't know. Acting. How modern are we talking? I don't know. What else y'all got in thoughts? Green Lantern, anything else from the show?
I'm still excited.
Me too. I was kind of surprised a little bit. Hal seems to have a southern twang.
I think that's more of a college handler thing.
You think so?
I think so.
Yeah.
I mean,
he was in the Monsterverse. He still had it a little bit in Friday Night Lights, and
he definitely had it in Friday Night
Super
Lights.
8. Yeah, I don't like them sharing the ring.
Yeah.
I mean, it's still like, what is it? What's the trending at this point? Let me go look real quick.
It's been trending at number 2 for the trailer all week. One of the major dialogue fails in the trailer. The ring translates so lanterns can communicate. Yeah, that dude, when I watched it and he said that, I didn't even register. Like, I heard him say it. I kind of like chuckled at the idea of Chip. Like, it seemed like so in passing, like you're talking to Jon Stewart in the context of the conversation in the car with him. So I don't know. I don't think he was, judging from how Hal seems a little bit like disgruntled a little bit to me, like the old disgruntled guy, a little impatient.
Are we going to get Carol Ferris? You guys think?
I don't know. Was she announced? What's going on, Billy?
I don't think so. And maybe that's why he's disgruntled. Maybe she's gone. It's still trending number 2 worldwide.
Hero James Gunn DC Universe has been kind of mid. Yeah, Creature Commandos was okay. Peacemaker 2 I really enjoyed till that just awful finale. The finale just was like next level bad. Superman was okay. Yeah, I completely agree. Billy, AI is on your side, buddy. AI is on the way.
Yep. I think even Snyder has said it should be a comic if you're going to bring it back.
Mm-hmm. Now, Superman was mid. There ain't no way getting around that. Like, on a success level, Steve, on like a financial success level, Superman was not a failure, but it definitely didn't perform as big as they wanted it to.
They just got to figure out the international audience, dude. Because
it's gone. There's no figuring it out. It's just gone. We live in a post-COVID world where China is no longer part of our market. They're doing their own things there. Technology caught up. That's all it is film technology overseas and other places caught up enough where there's not like this giant gap in quality between what Hollywood can produce and what they can produce over here with limited tools and less money. So there used to be a huge quality divide where even if you're from overseas and stuff, you still wanted to look at these spectacles that came out of Hollywood. Well, you get spectacles over there now. Like the low budget stuff looks like high budget stuff from 10 years ago. It's just technology caught up. And at that point, you'd rather watch stuff with your own culture, with your own language, not reading subtitles. And a lot. That's a huge thing with it. Gunn should have said, guys, the ring translates each other's languages. So cut that stupid line. I don't know. Context will matter once we see what they're talking about. And I'm looking forward to, I hope that they do like an intro in episode 1 kind of thing, where they context the Green Lanterns, because we're entering the show like they did with Superman, like we're years into him being Superman. Well, we're clearly years into ring slinging, which could potentially put the Lanterns here on Earth a long time before Superman.
Yeah. Or it even could set up the Manhunters for a future.
Yeah, and he wasn't talking about financially, Mike said. He's just talking about like
yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
I saw him say that.
Yeah, exactly. He was even wearing a super green shirt when he said that. Like, Billy didn't like Watchmen. Like, the one person that I found so far that didn't like the Watchmen show. That show was amazing. What's going on, Steph? Secretly racist rural white town, just like Gunn did in Creature Commandos with the hidden Nazi society and such. dude. Yeah, it's played out to death.
That was Peacemaker season 2.
Yeah, Creature Commandos. They were fighting in that kingdom or whatever it was. I forget the name of it. Do I have a friend that was in watching the series? She's a girl in the store that gets taken out. Oh, that's pretty cool.
Nice.
That'd be funny. The Saudi money is not going to be excited by this. Anyone that hasn't seen this too has no clue about the international movie scene. It's the 4th largest movie of all time, and Americans never heard of it because those numbers are a lie, J-Med. I'm going to just put this out there. Now think about this for 1 second. Here's the hypothesis. China lied about box office numbers to inflate their own property and project out of their own blossoming movie market.
You mean to say that they're putting out their own propaganda? No way.
Imagine China lying about numbers. Just imagine if that's the case.
Yeah, they run their own media over there.
It would also blow your mind with the way it looked and creatively in the last hour of the movie. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not saying it's a bad movie or anything. I'm just pointing out the most obvious thing in the world, that the $2 billion from the China-only market is not true. Kind of like their population numbers. They're factually not true because math. Possible nothing, bro. I'll call you and point out some funny stuff. It's literally just math. What's China's population? They're known for being one of the most densely populated places in the world, right? Like with like billions of people. And decades ago, that was the case. So they put in a one-child only policy. Well, if it takes 2 people to make 1 child, what does that do to your population?
Every generation, you're losing a person.
Every generation is cut in half. Despite that fact, their population hasn't reduced, meaning that they're bold-faced liars about numbers. They just lie about numbers. Like, it's one of the most known things about China when it comes to numbers. They lie. And they put nets around their skyscrapers that keep people from hitting the ground when they jump. Communism. They also have way more theaters in the U.S. Yeah, numbers are numbers. Yeah. But yeah, they're just not true. How much did that movie do over here when they released it over here? Like after all that, and it's a very connected world we have, like very connected world we have. If people online, people love manga, despite it being from overseas, people love, and it does great here. People cared.
They made $3 million.
Yeah, $3 bucks.
Sorry, it opened to $3 million. They made 23.
Yeah, but I think ultimately they probably lost money putting it in theaters in America.
Probably.
That's crazy. Yeah, I'm just pointing it out. It's the most obvious, not true thing ever. Hey, did y'all watch this?
I did.
I did not. I want to hear your guys' thoughts before I watch it, though.
Paul, what is this movie about? What is this? What are we looking at here?
We're looking at Alan Ritchson, which, by the way, if you like DC characters, this guy was Aquaman in Smallville. We have Wally West from The Flash is in it. We have Captain Boomerang from the Suicide Squad is in it.
Jai
we
Courtney.
got lots of DC characters. It's basically about, he plays an army guy.
81.
He plays number 81, correct. But he plays an army guy who, in the opening scene, he and his brother are actually ambushed in Afghanistan. And it comes to find out that, he was basically the only one, or one of the only people to make it back. But before that happens, he and his brother have this thing where his brother wants him to join the RAS program, which is like the Rangers, the Ranger program. And he doesn't want to do it. But then we find out that he does agree to do it because his brother was killed then, so he tries to do it. So he goes into the Ranger program, and he goes through all the steps, and then in a 360, you think this whole movie is just going to be about him going through the Ranger program. It does like this swerve where suddenly there's an alien robot that has attacked the Earth, among many robots, but we only see the one. And so it's how does this team that is on its last mission to see who become Rangers, how do they deal with this robot and what happens from there. So, like I said, you think it's one thing, and then that part of it still remains, but it takes a complete turn down another alley.
Yeah, it was pretty wild. And I had this thought about a little bit halfway through when they all jump in the river. I'm like, bro, this is Predator's template redone. And I actually had somebody message me who I'd never talked to before on Instagram. They messaged me after they saw my post, and they said the same thing. They said it was kind of like Predators, but instead of like an alien creature, it's an alien tech. But I thought it was decent. I'd give it about a 7 out of 10. It's fun. It's got some cool action. It's more of a survival movie than it is like a fighting movie. And just to put this to bed, no, I will go back and I will rewatch The Iron Giant. I'm only saying that because he's telling me to watch this Chinese propaganda and he's never seen The Iron Giant. Oh, well, dude, Battleship was way better than this. I love Battleship, first off. That's like one of my favorite just cheesy action sci-fi movies. But yeah, this was fun. This was cool. There really ain't much to say about it. It's just
and the whole thing is like, it's like blowing up cities and blowing up things, and it's like, and the way they defeat it is, just gotta, just block the vent.
Yeah, throw some dirt on it.
Yeah,
Dirt on it. I thought that I'm like, wait a minute, what? And there was a couple things that were super obvious to me when they were going out to go get placed out in the woods, and they flew over the mine. There's a little scene like, oh, what's that? Oh, that's the private mine. And if you make it to that, you're off course. I'm like, well, that's where we'll finish the movie right there. And little things like that. It didn't rewrite movies. It gets a recommend from me. It's fun.
Yeah, it's kind of like in the middle of this movie, suddenly they stop to show this special report about this asteroid that's coming to hit the Earth. Okay, that's going to be important too.
Yeah, it's kind of like, here, let's just make this dramatic army movie, but let's just like, how do we put an alien robot in it?
Yeah,
like they had two pitches that came through Netflix, or they're like, all right, let's make this movie. Let's make this movie. Wait, we got one too many movies this month. We already paid these people. Yeah. Put them together.
Yeah. And it's one of those, if you're going to put something in a movie, you better be willing to, it's going to show up again at some point. It's kind of like if you put a gun in a play, it's going to be fired at some point.
Yeah, it was one of those. What up, AR? But yeah, it was good. It was worth a watch. And dude, maybe it's because the time of everything going on. As I'm watching it, I'm thinking to myself, I don't need these people making DC movies.
Who directed it? Are you talking about Netflix owning?
Yeah,
WB. Yeah. Okay.
It wasn't poorly directed at all. I think was it Matt Hughes, maybe. Something Hughes, says my brain. Let me see. Now I'm curious.
Involved. I think he was one of those that helped write it too. I think.
War Machine movie. Patrick Hughes. Ha ha ha. Patrick Hughes. AR. Check your DMs. You should probably do that maybe like once every 3 days instead of once every month. Maximum Overdrive homage with the asteroid. Oh, on the TV, kind of just in the background. Goosebump at Planet Training for Earth throwback. Yeah, it gets a solid recommendation from me. I do agree with the chat. It's definitely not Gunslingers. That leaves a way longer lasting impression and is definitely so much more to talk about.
Is interesting, this book. It says Bible. You should try it. Read it. It's good.
I'm looking for.
It's good. That's so
crazy. Read it.
I still can't believe that's real. That's
so insane.
I got to get to work. Have a great Sunday. Fun day. Everyone is out too. Will blow your nuts off. That sounds awful. Why would I want to do that? That sounds terrible. There's your recommendation. DC, I'll check it out. Yeah. Gunslinger was a different beast. Yeah, altogether. It's always sad to see art be used by these larger entities for their nonsense. Obviously, I talked about Nazah is an example of snake eating its own tail, in my opinion. Yeah, I have nothing against Nazah. Like, I'll definitely see it one day, probably. I don't watch a lot of cartoons in general, but yeah, I'm glad people enjoyed it. All right, let's get on to the big thing of the week.
That's my
Monarch.
Well, I was gonna say, I wonder what it is for y'all.
Yeah,
What
exactly.
it is. Monarch: Legacy of Monsters, Season 2, Episode 2. Steve, you're almost caught up. You're almost there.
Yeah, I've done 7 episodes. I can give you my thoughts so far. I mean, they've definitely alluded to the fact that Colonel Shaw has experienced some sort of whether it's time travel or teleportation, or I know it ends up being Access Monday. I know that because they're like, he should be like 90 something now, and he's like, yeah, I just look good. And then they've alluded to Billy Randa, going crazy talking about that as well after his wife died. It's good. There are a couple points from like, man, the show is really slow at some points. It really is. But they have to add backstory to some of these characters because every one of these characters is in the show for a reason. And there was one episode where there was no monsters, and I hated that episode. But Godzilla is definitely the big bad, or not, maybe not the big bad, the big badass, I will say.
Yeah.
For all of them. I have not personally seen Kong yet, but they've alluded to him from the AET company that becomes Apex. So
Yeah, what a great little, like, they do a lot of heavy lifting in this show because format wise, you see what they're doing, like episode by episode, they're kind of spotlighting each of these characters kind of thing and bringing them together with a purpose. But the whole Apex thing, that's ultimately the company that will go on to create Mechagodzilla and Godzilla versus Kong. They're kind of like a big player competitor against Monarch. Different goals where Monarch's more into the discovery angle. They're more into the weaponized angle.
yeah, it's good. I'm enjoying it. I got 3 more episodes until season 2.
Almost there. Paul, what do you think of this episode right here? We had the last episode where you got open the portal. Titan X was released from the other place. And now it's set loose.
Yeah, I think from a Titan standpoint, we didn't really get as much. I mean, we saw Kong at the beginning. We basically, for the most part, really kind of see just the scales of the thing. Which, by the way, I meant to mention in War Machine, they totally had the Godzilla mouth thing going with the robot.
When it
opened up and then
yeah,
the blue thing, it was like, yeah, that's Godzilla.
Yeah, they did the -1 effect where it opens and draws in the energy. Yeah, they sure did.
Yeah.
I was thinking if y'all just throw a rock in there, you might be good.
Right. Yeah, exactly. But there was so much of the Titans and everything in the last episode that I thought it was not that there wasn't any, because there was. We got to see the ritual or whatever that they have. Exactly. And the ritual that they have on the island and everything. So that was kind of cool. Funny how like just one of those little creatures basically will turn around the big guy from a city. So
yeah, dude, the whole second episode is pretty much a chase, like Monarch's trying to catch up with and do something about, monitor, catch up, distract, discourage it from its trajectory, which is ultimately heading to a city. But those little crab things, I think they're gonna be wildly important. As soon as so me and Finn watched the episode together, and as soon as it was over, where it cut off, he goes, "Why would they stop it there?" Like buddy, it said you're excited to come back next week. So I immediately opened up X and looked for like a trailer for a next episode or something because he wanted to see it. Couldn't find a trailer, but I saw like this little clip, like it's like a 10-second clip of just those little crab things underwater swarming to Titan X and like latching onto it. And it makes me wonder if those are like baby Titan X's or if they all get together to form it, if there's just like a symbiotic kind of thing, like those small fish that ride on sharks and stuff. I don't know, but I'm super excited. The power, the punch that they pack was crazy. That kind of like that energy projection, that cry that it did, that was pretty wild. But that was such a great scene when old buddy hopped on the boat and lured Titan X away, and it was very reminiscent of -1 with right behind this boat, just head coming out of the water, this nasty looking Joker. But for me, the best part for this episode was the flashback stuff. I love the stuff in the 1950s, this little sea town and the lore that comes. I really like that Indiana Jones discovering all these things, the paintings on the wall, the lost civilization style stuff, and the myths that go along with it, and the way that it ended. Because we don't know where Titan X is at that point.
Right.
Because they told us about like the migration patterns, and Bill wanted to go travel to see if he could get ahead of it. Turns out he shouldn't have left, because the way that this episode ended was insane, with it pulling up in the harbor like it did. But I absolutely loved it. Solid episode, a lot of stuff to be excited about. I like that it's got the momentum. And to what your takeaway and what we talked about that first season, Steve, with all the characters together, I like that this seems to be more like a linear, even though you have two stories with the flashback, it's all moving forward together versus over here with this character, this episode, a little bit of motion. Then this episode with this character, we don't have any more backstories to do now.
Yeah, they do a great job of intermixing them when they need to, and then not intermixing them when they don't need to. Like, I think there was at least 1 or 2 episodes so far from season 1 that I've seen where there was no flashbacks at all. But there was one time that was really cool where Shaw was watching an old video of him in the Randas, and he pauses it and he stands up and he gets in front of his son, and it's identical. Like, obviously you can tell they're related, it's just cool the way they did that.
Yeah, they had a great opportunity with this show, with these actors, and they don't waste it at all. Be excited about that. All right. On to the next thing. Unless you have anything else for Monsterverse you want to hit on.
Nope, I think I'm good.
No. Oh,
KO.
yeah, I forgot about this.
The most important comic for DC Comics probably all year. I don't think that they're going to release something that's more important than this for the rest of the year. On a scale of 1 to 10, Paul, where would you put this single issue comic?
I'd give it a 9.
Same. I moved up from an 8.5 to a 9 once I actually got to read it all the way from beginning to end.
Yeah, I'm right up there with you guys. I gave it a 9.5 the second I finished reading. I'm like, dude, this is exactly what I want from an event from DC specifically that does these big cosmic scale level stuff where they don't ignore their other titles and the stories that led up to it over years, the continuity of the bigger picture, the way that they're intermingling stuff with Absolute into this, and nothing's forgotten, nothing's left out. A lot, you can see the time, effort, and energy that they take to plan stuff like this. But man, I was happy with it. And the way that it services what's to come is wildly important too.
Yeah, and there's, a lot of times when they do these things is right, they do these huge events, whatever, but then they have to put all the pieces back to where they were before they ended, right? Here, not only do you have huge stakes, you have Superman is now missing, right? We don't know where Superman is, but we have all of these heroes, Aquaman, whoever, that still have some Omega energy in them, that are giving them new stories and new ways to new things to do and everything. So, and we got the promise of an Absolute Crisis on Infinite Earths at some point down the line too.
Oh man, that was insane, wasn't it?
Awesome.
So all of these things, and it looks as though Darkseid is basically taken over all but one Earth.
Yeah, the whole multiverse looks like it belongs to him now,
except for one.
What do you think about the big breakdown, the big reveal of Doomsday's purpose and how it was applied? Because I was speculating like, is this going to turn into a Doomsday versus Darkseid battle? Took a slightly different path. Doomsday, Time Trapper Doomsday, this ultimate end of time version filled with all these cosmic energies, bestowed it upon Superman to go back out there and handle it himself.
Gave him the alpha energy.
Yeah, I love the way they did that. They talked about it in issue 1, and then they have not mentioned it again until issue 5 about the Alpha and Omega, and about how the Alpha is the creation and the Omega is the dark energy. I thought that was interesting. And I'm right there with you, Mark. Like, I was interested to see if we're going to get like a Doomsday or Darkseid fight. Though it feels like Darkseid would definitely win that, but I like that, as the villain that he is, like, he was responsible for killing Superman, but now he was responsible for bringing him back to life to save his universe for now. So
Yeah, I like how he points it out too. He's like, we're locked in a cycle of life and death, you and I. Doomsday can't die because of who he is and what he is. And then you have Superman, who is incapable of dying. The universe won't let him die, kind of thing. Like, and he kind of alludes to it, which was kind of explored more in Doomsday Clock, how the universe tends to pull toward him. He is an anomaly in the DC universe, and I'm glad that they mentioned that again. They didn't harp on it, lay into it, but they reference it again, that he isn't just another player. He's got a bigger purpose, which I think that's such a cool thing about the character.
Mm-hmm.
But this Doomsday is no more. He chooses to break that cycle.
And goes back to Doomsday Clock.
Yeah. Where Dr. Manhattan made the observation of that everything revolves around this person for some reason.
And you and I were talking about this on my live on Wednesday, that like he is now, more powerful than Dr. Manhattan is, because now he can go back more than just 70, 80 years. Like he saw everything from the beginning to the Big Bang until now. And that part right there, that was one of about three parts where I'm like, hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. That level up, every level up. It kind of felt like like Dragon Ball Z, where they just keep leveling up at the end of episodes or whatever. It was pretty cool. It was pretty cool.
Yeah. So the first thing he does once he gets back and gets this energy, Darkseid finally smiles. He waxes Lex Luthor and just takes his place. Lex was never even going to be a threat, which was something that they revealed later in the issue. Lex won the tournament. He had his little Omega crown, and Darkseid wasn't even flinching. Lex is like, "Oh, let's fight." He's like, whatever, dude. And then Superman just walks up behind him and dusts him. And when Superman rolls in, glowing blue, similar to Dr. Manhattan, the first thing he does is he puts out his hands and creates an entire universe. And not only does he create a universe, he lets time run for millions of years in his hand, absorbing and just charging up from all of this stuff. And he gets his immediate second level up before he even starts the fight, which I'm like, dude, this is insane. He's literally like creation in his hands, an entire universe, like born, aged, and energized off of it.
But with all that power, he doesn't create it the way he thinks it should be created. He basically creates it the way that it had been created before.
Well, we're not even to that point yet. This is just him getting ready to fight. He just Darkseid tells him to don his crown. Like he rolls in with a crown on his head, and Darkseid's, the Kryptonians I'd hoped it'd be. And Clark reaches out and into the universe. Like the universe is reborn in his image. He's there in that very first explosion. There in every superheated particle of matter racing outward, quarks, gluons, the burning dust, and then he ages this universe that's in his hands, and he uses that to get his first level up before they even start fighting.
He puts
like how much power, how powerful is Darkseid is what I was thinking in this point, because again he's full of alpha and omega energy, and then he does this to supercharge again. And immediately they start fighting. And he just lays into Darkseid and does nothing. Darkseid smiles and just whams him. One hit, he's on the ground. So that's where he's got to change up his strategy. He starts running at this point. Starts running back through time, hitting Darkseid, moving through time, absorbing energy all the way back to the Big Bang, to the very, very beginning of everything in the DCU right here, where all time, matter, and space exists in one point, and he's able to absorb all of that from right there. And he gets his next level up here, the ultimate level up. Look at that. It's like the cosmos. He's made of the cosmos. That's nuts.
Almost looks like he's like got all the Infinity Stones running through him at the same time with all
At
that
the
color.
same time, yeah, like with the energy going around him and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And
Little
who was it?
Superboy
What did
Prime
you,
action,
Steve?
too.
That point? Yeah, that I was about to say that pointed out the stuff on his chest.
Mhm.
Absolutely crazy. And this is where it gets to what Paul's just saying. He throws a couple blows in there, and he starts thinking about his role to play in all this. How he's going to have to remake the universe as the King Omega, and what does a universe as he sees fit looks like. And you get a little glimpse of it where everyone's a legionnaire and everyone's happy, and he's like, well, that's not genuine. That's not real. You know, that would be the whole peace based on a lie kind of thing. And he does exactly what Paul was just saying. He chooses to recreate it the way it was. Big splash page, everyone back from the tournament, and they take a massive hit to Darkseid and just send him knocked out through the universe and through a little rift and back to what I guess is Apocalypse. No, it can't be Apocalypse, or it could be just at a different time, maybe. Maybe.
Yeah, that's left to the imagination for sure.
We know from New Gods, Apocalypse ain't in the way he left it, kind of thing. Where do you think he exists at right now, Paul? Like with all the continuity stuff, where's he at?
He may be at somewhere outside of time and space right now.
This reminds me of like that, like I don't know how many arcs, like how many issues it was, but when they were in the Phantom Zone, but there started being like cracks in the Phantom Zone to get back. That's what it kind of reminds me of.
Oh, that Mark Waid 12 issue story arc they did.
Yeah.
If you look at this top panel here, you see when you remade the Earth, it still has the fire pits on it and all from where it was being terraformed. And this is the start of our setup of what's to come. What's happening with Superman here? He's like a celestial in the sky.
I'm interested to see how long he's going to be gone for, because they talk about how he's got other things he has to do. But Lois isn't super concerned about it.
No, he's bidding everyone farewell. It's like, I'll be back, but I got to go for now. I got some stuff I got to do, stuff I got to work on. But he talks about this universe and how in this way, you know, with its pros, its cons, with its good, with its evil, with its peace and violence, that's the nature of existence. That's the nature of things. And you get this big 2-page spread of things that come. This is our next level slate right here, Paul.
Yeah. Except for that one person that's above Superman's face. I don't think it's this person that you were saying was on the World's Finest cover. I could be wrong, but
I don't know who that is. It almost looks like an absolute power robot type thing.
yeah, at first I thought it was Fusion from the World's Finest thing, but then it doesn't have the S with the bad or whatever. So I don't know who it is.
That's little 12-year-old John Kent's biggest nemesis that'll be chasing little John Kent through time, trying to fight John. Yeah, I'm telling you, it's going to be in the pages of Superman Unlimited, because Dan Slott sucks. I'm trying to tell you all this.
Yeah.
There's the character right there.
Okay, that looks better than that's not the one that I saw before that. Then that's right. Then yeah. Okay.
I think it looks like Grifter.
I thought the one you had showed me was some kid that was dressed in purple and.
No, you're thinking of Boy Thunder from World's Finest.
Yeah.
Boy Thunder and Connell will be in Supergirl. But yeah, this is a great Perillo cover. It looks like now the way Perillo drew it right here, that looks like a T on his chest, and his face looks painted. You can see it looks like Eradicator kind of thing, but I don't know what's going on right here. The synopsis is the final moments of John Kent, what's worse than a fifth dimensional imp, a fourth dimensional demon. John Kent faces off against his greatest arch enemy, a terrifying time-bending foe who's attacking him years before they ever met. Witness the final moments of John Kent Superman. Also in this issue, Superboy? No, really, wait. What? Yeah, you better not miss this one. Call your retailer now. Reserve your copy now. Don't wait. Go. Call now. I think Dan Slott writes these synopses.
Dude, those synopses are like run-on sentences half the time.
That thing sucks. That synopsis.
But the cover
So is
is
it just a backup? Yeah. Is it just a backup story with John Ken or young? I don't know. See, it looks like a kid in this drawing. Looks like an adult there. The symbol looks different, like on almost every single one of them. That's just insane, though.
Mm-hmm.
But a fourth dimensional demon is what it's being called. But yeah, artistic liberties, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, then we get back to the board game here where it all started. Lois makes kind of like the All-Star Superman Easter egg, like, yeah, I'm not worried about him. He'll be back when he's done fixing the sun, but it's kind of just like he's got stuff to do out there. Then we get a little epilogue, get a little idea of things to come. Legion of Darkseid is still out there on another world. Apparently, alternate reality Damian Wayne Batman and son is still alive out there somewhere, which I think is cool. Maybe one day we'll revisit that.
The ones from Night Fight.
Yeah. All right. Now, what do you think of this, Paul? This is a little interesting here.
The new chapter?
This whole scene with Barry going to his computer to type and the computer going haywire and a new chapter manifested on his laptop. And it's called Book Zero, not Chapter Zero. The word zero holds some implications with DC.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think's happening here?
I don't know. It's kind of interesting that maybe Darkseid is still planning, to create something before everything else that would then impact the rest of the DC universe history.
Yeah, because in KO he was after that Speed Force.
Right.
I think we're gonna get like a 0 year type thing for the Flash.
What's the next story arc supposed to be? Ryan North takes over Flash coming up.
Yep. I just hope we get like a writer that stays a while and is actually good, because the Cy Spurrier run is legendary for not good reasons. It's the opposite of legendary, actually.
It's quite possibly the worst run of Flash that I know of. It definitely is. I don't even think quite possibly.
It is. It's horrible.
Yeah, I'm looking at the next couple of issues solicits for Flash. It doesn't look like there's anything that alludes to it. But, we got Wally stuff going on with the Flash stuff. I don't know. Sky's the limit. But I thought it was cool that he was doing the typewriter thing.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone thinks that's Dr. Manhattan's hands.
No, that's Darkseid's hands from DC All in Special one shot. That's the same exact page panel, just colored differently. You're welcome.
You're right.
I know. Because I went back and looked. I'm like, that looks familiar. I got this weird brain. So I went back and looked. So they took this exact panel, they cropped it, tilted it, and blued it.
And it's not like every fiber in your being doesn't wish it was Dr. Manhattan anyway.
Oh, yeah, 1,000%. 1,000% every fiber in my being does. But it's this exact panel from the DC All in Special one shot. Clouds are the same, hands the same, the little lines around are the same, all of it. See the Earth, the little smoke right to the left of the Earth?
Mm-hmm.
Right there.
Yep.
Instead of purple, it's blue.
Yep. The little moon cresting on the top left, peeking around right there. Yep. Because I was trying to solve all the cosmic continuity mysteries as I was going through this. Because this end was the big thing. Yeah, and then we get the reassurance that the absolute characters that appeared in KO are back where they belong. They don't know what happened. They're none the wiser. It kind of restates how these are just created to be his weapons. They and the rest of their world remain my weapons, and I have another army growing. This was a big reveal right here.
Mm-hmm.
This is how Darkseid was so powerful. This is why it took Superman 3 level ups. This is why there was almost no stopping him or making him flinch even. Darkseid wasn't just juiced up on his own Omega high. He's been running, they're running KO tournaments on every Earth in the multiverse, on all of them. And he's just been sucking up all this Omega energy. And the outcome from those worlds is that Darkseid won. nobody beat him. Like Paul said, the entire multiverse is Omega'd out. And we get the huge reveal that they're building up to an absolute crisis. I'm looking forward to that.
Absolutely.
Absolute crisis, baby. Now the question is whether that's going to be at the end of the year or if that's going to be like in another year or two. I don't know. Feels like it's too soon to do at the end of the year, honestly. This has got to be something they're planning for a couple of years down the road because they want it to be a huge event.
That's my thoughts as well. I'm hoping that the absolute event at the end of the year is just like our first little event. Maybe a Justice League versus the characters, Lazarus, the big finale with Lazarus or something. Because all we've done, Batman and Wonder Woman shared 2 issues together. That's all we've done so far. Anything with the word crisis needs to be a lot more meaningful, a lot more impactful.
What if it has something to do with the word zero? They got to use a 0 year, 0 hour, 0 something.
Oh, they've dubbed it Crisis. I think the 0 thing, maybe that'll be a Flash story coming up. We got the big Green Lantern story arc coming that they're dealing with Chronos coming up. That's going to kick off with issue 800 coming out. The next issue of Green Lantern is the milestone issue 800. So that's going to be everyone needs to pick it up no matter what kind of issue because you're going to want all the character details in there. I don't know what kind of story arc we have for Flash, but we have the Reign of the Superman stuff happening across the Superman titles. In the Batman titles, they're all branded right now with different impactful story arcs happening. They have like a blue band across the top, and every title has its own different start of a story arc. What was the Batman one called? The Joker is back, and it all starts here. So I guess the next one will have it. But yeah, they're banding the top of the books with that blue band across them.
Mayor Ivy is one of them.
Yep. Mayor Ivy over there, and Batgirl I saw this week had a new story arc too. So I'm assuming they'll do the same for the Flash. I don't know. Again, Ryan North is taking it over. It's not starting new numbering or anything. Teen Titans is getting branded the New Titans. John Kent's going over there. Not new numbering, just new title branding. So I don't know. There's a lot to be excited for. A lot of jump on points, but I haven't seen anything with the 0 in there yet. And I just peeked at the Flash stuff, and it doesn't look like there's any kind of story arc carryover. It looked like the 3 issues you can see out are just little one-off stories. Might just be Ryan getting his footing, getting his stuff started. I don't know. That looked like the Image If universe and Tangent universe in there. Could be. What's going on, George? Yeah, very good stuff. The Just Imagine stuff. The Stan Lee stuff was wild. Yeah, KO was awesome. Loved it. I'm excited for it. And in 2 weeks, not weeks, but Wednesday, then the next Wednesday, that's when the next level stuff will officially kick off when Lobo and Deathstroke drop. I don't know if Batwoman is coming out the same week or not.
I don't think so.
I don't think so. I think it's the other 2, though. I'm excited for both of those. They'll both be on my pool list. We'll see what happens. Of the next level titles that are announced, are there any that which one are y'all picking up or looking forward to? Because there's going to be a few that I skip that I'm sure that I'll skip.
I'm most looking forward to Firestorm.
I'm most looking forward to Lobo and Deathstroke, but I'm getting both of those, and I'm also going to get the Shadow of the Bat as well.
Right now, I think maybe it's just too far out, but I think Jonah Hex is the one I'm most excited about. I'm curious to see what they'll do with the Demon.
Mm-hmm.
But I think right now, because it's so close, I think Deathstroke has the most of my attention. Firestorm, I read the premise of it. I'm not sure what Lemire is doing, but like apparently Ronnie goes back to his hometown and something's wrong with him, and he's like turning people to glass and all kinds of weird stuff. So, yeah, Fury of Firestorm. We'll see what he does.
This is too far out too, but I'm also looking forward to Legion of Superheroes.
Yeah, that's in there with the Jonah Hex slate. It's like the next wave of them. I'm definitely going to skip the Barbara Gordon one. Not that it'll be bad. I just don't care. And Zatanna, I'm not signing up for backwards talk.
She has some sort of Apparently, Barbara Gordon's going to have some sort of power over blood or something like that. Or
That's Batgirl. That's happening in the Cassandra Cain thing right now. The new story arc that just kicked off, she can blood bend.
okay.
Yeah, because I was looking at that this past Tuesday. I'm like, what is happening with this? This is odd. So, and that goes back to what you were kind of saying with the effects of the Omega stuff that these people are having coming out of DCKO. That's this thing right here. Yeah, even on the cover there, she's got the blood swirling around her.
Oh.
But the Barbara Gordon breakout one, I don't know what they're doing with that. But Cassandra Cain is leveled up, or is it a level down?
Is she related to Brother Blood or something?
No, she has the power to wield and control her blood like a weapon. So apparently there's stuff spinning out of the Omega energy that's still present and stuff. They alluded to it in the next issue of Aquaman, which kind of made me nervous because Jeremy Adams done a good job of building Aquaman up, like with the being the Avatar, the blue with the hydrokinesis power. None of that attached at all to the DCKO tournament, but they're getting into the Emperor Aquaman story arc where he's having to go handle some stuff on a cosmic level. And they said, while like the Omega is coursing through him and he's leveled up, I'm like, wait a minute. Dude was already leveled up. Let's not try to pretend like it's because the Omega energy, just so you could take it away from him when you get past the Omega stuff. So hopefully I don't want them to take away the water bending stuff for Aquaman. I think that's I don't know. I think that's perfect for his character. He should have that ability.
Apparently, he's going to be setting up lighthouses throughout the galaxy.
That makes sense. There's the hypothetical lighthouses. Yeah, right. Yeah. I'm super, super excited for the Aquaman thing. That's going to be tough as nails.
Emperor Aquaman issue 15.
Yeah, Aquaman issue 15 is See, I like that they're doing that. They're rebranding a lot of the titles. Titans is becoming New Titans, Aquaman, Emperor Aquaman, but the numbering is remaining the same. The Empire starts here. All hail. Jump into a fresh start for the King of Atlantis and beyond after the events of KO. Aquaman finds himself on a journey of self-discovery where he must launch a brand new mission imbued by Omega energy. That's what part of that I'm like, wait a minute. The very essence of conquest. To reach across the stars with the power of the blue, our king must first defeat the Crimson Queen and free his friends and family from the evil clutches. So it seems like we've been dealing with this this little story arc while he's been in KO. It looks like he's just going to just like chump it off just to jump right into this. Mira's mom is about to get wrecked in this issue. But you notice how he's like sitting there like on a Starro looking thing for a sled, even holding the reins and stuff.
Like a starfish.
Yeah.
Starro mix.
Yeah. I'm excited for this. Very excited. Are y'all picking this
Oh,
cover?
dude, that logo variant, dude. Oh my gosh.
It is a great cover, but it's kind of does make him look like he's like 12 years old.
It's the dude with the face again. Eom. Right. The painting, the detail is just phenomenal, but the faces on the male characters look like 12-year-olds.
Yeah, go to that logo variant.
Will do. Yeah, you didn't see the Superman one for the last book we were looking at. The Superman Unlimited will have a Superman logo variant. Logo variants across the board, it looks like they're doing, as well as these foil character variants.
Might as well. I mean, it did so good for the exclusives. Might as well do it as well.
Yeah. Now I like this Anthony Marquez. I think this is cool. It looks like the SpongeBob guy.
Kind of looks like Chris Samney a little bit too.
A little bit. Yeah, I like that. Nathan Zerdy, not his best work at all.
Nope, not even close to his best work.
Put all these little crosshatch lines all over the whole thing. It's weird. Weird. Gillian March. This is a pretty nice cover right here. Trident looks super, super narrow. Oh no, I'm looking forward to it. Very much so. Very much so.
Wasn't colorful enough for me, but it's all right.
Didn't pop.
Didn't pop enough. I
pop?
need more color, man. I just do.
Need more pop. We all got anything else y'all want to hit on?
I think
No.
I'm good.
No. Get a review of Absolute Batman 18 coming up that I'm going to post the day of.
Did you read that yet,
package-
Paul?
I did not. I'll probably read it tonight now.
I got a package coming in from Legion of Comics soon, so hopefully I'll be unboxing that this week.
What did I send you?
I won a Tuesday giveaway, bro.
Oh, okay. I was thinking like, yeah. Okay, that was a couple
Pop
Tuesdays
sent me a
ago.
message saying it's going out, so
Got you. Good on Pops, and congrats to you. Oh, you won the KO one. You won this most recent one. That's right.
I did. I
Right,
did.
Yeah, you got the Ian Bertram Dark Side cover. Yeah, that thing's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I think I already filmed a video for tomorrow. I think I did it Friday. What is it on? Events. Yes, video on events. Yeah, that'll be out tomorrow.
Crisis
Oh,
First.
yeah, I already
Reward?
watched it.
Is that the one?
Yeah, dude. I'm waiting on people. I'm waiting on people to start complaining when the whole absolute crisis thing starts. When I read that in the end of that, I'm like, I'm so making a video on events immediately. So I started working on it, and I came across this when I was looking at, like, I made this image. This wasn't a preset image. I had to put all these together, but all the different times Marvel events say war, I stopped at 12 or 15. I could have kept going. As a matter of fact, it's not listed here, but if you're interested in World War M, it's available on Pop's Attic. But
Wow, that's amazing.
yeah, a lot of wars over at Marvel. You got plenty of crises over at DC. It's called branding. But yeah, I enjoyed that video. Because you always got the people that I was seeing some of the mentions of event fatigue and all that. Yeah, shooter, literally. What do you guys love? Secrets and wars? Yeah, Secret War. Pretty much. But yeah. And then Wednesday
Wednesday night, 9:00. This gentleman
Yes.
right here.
Yes.
This gentleman right here.
One?
Yeah, and
This
Beckerman.
guy?
9 Eastern.
9:00 Eastern. Giving
Perfect.
away the whole KO.
Oh,
Let's
snap.
go.
Oh, all
Yeah,
acetate
acetate.
too. Dude, look how
And-
good those work together. Good grief.
Yeah. And because it's Dark Side, we're giving away, and I had to get a foil. It's New Guys #1.
Wouldn't have been
Love it.
proper if you didn't.
Exactly.
Love it.
Dude, that's
So-
awesome.
9:00 Eastern. Like I said, it's Mark, it's Beckerman, and it is Burke. Will be with us. So
I kind of had to like invite myself to that episode, but I'm gonna be there.
Before we go, let me ask y'all a question. How much y'all want to see this happen?
Yes. Yes.
After seeing him in like the military role and stuff, and how Captain Adam's kind of like shoehorned into being like a weapon for the military, basically.
I'd like to see him more in a role of someone who's a little more like a funny jerk, but I'll take him anywhere in a DCU, honestly.
I don't know if this is a hot take, but Alan Ritchson seems a little stiff as an actor. I think somebody like Captain Adam would be perfect for him.
I was surprised in War Machine because he has literally basically said he can't walk without pain.
I like how they incorporated a knee injury into his character in the very beginning.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
crazy, dude. That's crazy. And they said that movie was more grueling on his body than any season of Reacher, which is wild.
Wow.
When you see it, you'll understand a lot of running and through the woods. And when you're a guy that big, like uneven ground is your enemy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and when I was talking to my brother-in-law, who's a former military member, he was like, he looked at him and he goes, "That dude is not athletic. He's just big."
Yeah,
And
100%.
I agree with that.
Yeah, you can see it when he moves. He's super stiff. He's super stiff. And And his acting too. Like he's perfect for roles like Reacher, like the quiet guy kind of thing. He had like, I don't know, like 7 lines in all of War Machine. And like in all sincerity.
Yeah.
He doesn't have a lot. But as long as you got the right role for him, I mean, it works out good. He's perfect for Reacher. Yeah, absolutely. All right, we're about to make like a baby and head out. Appreciate everybody coming and hanging out. Catch you on the next one. Make sure you go sub these guys up. We'll see you Wednesday night, 9 p.m. on Sector's channel. Peace.
You are who you choose to be.